Welcome friends to another r/AmIThejerk video. I'm still not clear. Am I the jerk for asking you guys to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below? Also, I've set up a channel membership just in case you want to show your support and help keep Storytime going for as long as possible. So if you love my videos or want to have your comments shown like this one by Phantasm, click the join button below this video. That said, our first story of the day is by Sarka's Richard. Am I the jerk for not letting my in-laws stay in my home overnight to catch an earlier flight? I hate having people in my home. Hate it with a passion. I've always hated people in my space in general, to where my bedroom was an off-limits zone, period. I don't have people over to entertain them, never did sleepovers as a kid, just altogether, screw that. There's no abnormal psych about it, I'm not remotely introverted, I just hate it. It took me a long time to let my now husband into my apartment when I lived alone, and he's always been very respectful. He also feels pretty similarly, but it's more a creature of habit thing for him. We live about 30 minutes from the largest airport in my state, and my in-laws live about 3 hours away. Oftentimes they'll meet us for dinner or something nearby on their way to or from flights. Well, there's now a big stink because my father-in-law and mother-in-law asked to sleep over so they could get a good night's rest before heading off to wherever they're traveling for Thanksgiving. I said no without an explanation. They asked again closer to the date, "Are you sure it won't work?" And I said no again. Mother-in-law asked me again now that we're just a few days out. She asked why, if we had guests, and I just said, we don't have the space. She was put out by this and got pissy and asked what the big deal was. It was just one night and it would save them a lot of hassle. My husband took over and said no, that we aren't a makeshift hotel, and to please stop asking. He then said that we just don't like having people over, period. It's nothing personal. The nothing personal line really pissed off my mother-in-law, who's now making a big stink up and down social media with all the "in my day" and "I would never," which is totally fine because she doesn't mind it, obviously. Am I the jerk? For freak's sake, a hotel nearby isn't going to be more than $150, and it's not like they're strapped for cash. As always, the purpose of this subreddit is to judge whether or not OP's the jerk in the situation. The categories being OP's the jerk, OP's not the jerk, everyone's a jerk, there's no jerks at all, and there's not enough info. In this situation, I'll say I understand that they hate having people over. I understand if it's been a lifelong thing, I'm not going to try to diagnose them or anything like that. But it's your husband's father and mother, and they just want to stay for a night so they don't have to drive 3 hours to the airport. Or spend $150 plus when they could just spend the night there. Like, I definitely get OP's reasoning for it. They have every right to say no and refuse to let them stay there. But I do still think OP's probably the jerk here, because from what I can tell, there's no bad blood between the father-in-law and the mother-in-law. If you can't let your husband's parents stay the night, one night, to save them hours of driving time and being tired, or saving them possibly hundreds of dollars, it seems like a bit of a jerk move. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm wrong? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Our next jerk question is by Critical Intention 17. Am I the jerk for putting a lock on my door? I, 26-year-old male, and my roommate, 28-year-old male, split rent on a 2-bedroom townhouse. The townhouse is set up where I have a room upstairs with an adjoining bathroom, and my roommate's room is downstairs with a bathroom next door. The fridge is decently sized where my stuff stays on top and his on the bottom. I do have horrible OCD and told my roommate that I did not want anyone to go into my room or use my bathroom. My roommate's been seeing a girl for a few months and she'll regularly stay with us for a few days a week. I don't have any issues with her staying as long as she cleans up after herself. The issue is that I came home from work and went into my bathroom to take a shower. I saw some hair and a razor in the shower. I quickly cleaned the shower and put the razor in the trash. I went downstairs and asked my roommate who had used my shower. He tells me that his girlfriend's been using my shower since their relationship. When his girlfriend came over that evening, I asked her why she was using my bathroom. She tells me that his bathroom is disgusting and mine's always clean. I did tell her to stop using my shower and decided to grab a lock for my door. The girlfriend was not happy to see a lock in my door and called me childish for locking my room. The girlfriend's been staying less since the lock was put on the door. Roommate and I are not speaking to each other unless it's about rent and bills. Am I the jerk? So considering OP and their roommate have an understanding where upstairs, one room, one bathroom, that's OP's. Downstairs, roommate's bathroom, that's roommates. I think OP's not the jerk just because they have this understanding, this agreement, at least it seems like it, and they just let the girlfriend go right through, use the bathroom, not even tell OP about it. They could make an argument that they split the rent so they're entitled to the whole place, but the fact of the matter is the way they use it and the way they've been using it is that this area's OP's and that area's roommates. If the girlfriend can't respect that, I don't think that makes OP a jerk for keeping them out of it. If those boundaries are well established, they should be respected. This next question's by an anonymous poster. Am I the jerk for demanding a refund for my roommate after she gave her date my meal prep? So to save money and time, I meal prep on Sundays, and this has been working well for me so far. I always try new healthy recipes and have on several occasions made portions for my roommate. I consider her a good friend, so I didn't mind doing some extra cooking for her. Anyway, she started seeing this guy last month, and he's been coming over to our place a lot. A couple of days ago, I noticed that some of my meal prep was gone, and I asked my roommate what happened. She said that she gave some of my prepped food to the guy she's seeing and that she thought I wouldn't mind. She claimed she didn't have the time to cook and reheated my food instead. Of course, I was angry and told her that it was a messed up thing to do. She said that it was actually okay for her to do this, because I don't mind sharing food with her, so there should be no problem. I asked her if the dude was aware that it was my food, and she said yes. Long story short, we argued and I demanded to be paid back for the ingredients. She refused. I confronted the guy too, and surprisingly, he offered to pay me back. I told him to pay me $20 on top for his audacity, and he actually paid that too. Now my roommate's going around telling people how awful I am and that I charged her for my food, even though she's struggling financially. She's also angry that I embarrassed her in front of this guy. Am I the jerk for demanding a refund when I could have dealt with this differently? Heck no, definitely not the jerk. It's one thing for you to make some food, your roommate's around, you share some with them. That doesn't mean they're entitled to take whatever food of yours they want. You know what that actually means? It means when you're around and eating something, they're entitled to ask if they can have some of it, not just take something. If I let my friend drive my car one time, does that mean they can just take it whenever they want? No, you think they would want to ask if they're gonna do something like that. It's not the same scale, obviously, but the same basic principle is right there. Our next question's by Throwaway Dress 000. Am I the jerk for not throwing away a dress? I'm a 25-year-old female. My best friend's wedding was this past weekend. There were 4 bridesmaids in total, including me. We all got the same matching dresses costing about $220 each. Super pretty, comfortable, and definitely something you could wear to another event or just a night out. This morning, me and the other 3 bridesmaids got a group text from the bride saying she expected us to not wear the dresses we wore to the wedding anywhere else, and to get rid of them because they were only for her special occasion. I replied saying that I wouldn't be tossing out a dress I spent that much money on, and now she won't talk to me. Am I the jerk? Definitely not the jerk. First of all, you spent that much on a dress and they expect you to just toss it out afterwards? Now, I don't know a lot about weddings, but wouldn't you most likely get a bridesmaid dress that you could re-wear again in the future? I feel like if there was ever any person to buy something that they would never wear again, it would probably only be the bride, right? Imagine having all the best men get proper suits and stuff, and then saying, "You better not ever wear those suits again." It's the same deal with the dresses. Definitely not the jerk. If she doesn't want you to wear it that bad, tell her to pay you for it. This next question's by AITA Cloth Diapers. Am I the jerk for refusing to babysit a baby in cloth diapers? I, 23-year-old female, used to nanny from college until like a year ago, before I got my dream job. I work 65-plus-hour weeks, so I really look forward to relaxing on the weekends. The family I used to nanny for begged me to watch her kids last weekend so they could go to a last-minute birthday party. I said no at first because I need my weekends to decompress after a long week, but they were in a bind, so I agreed. Since I left, they had a new baby. While I was nannying, both kids were potty trained, so I never dealt with diapers with them. I show up and they start going over the baby's schedule, and they then tell me they use cloth diapers, so for poops, I have to scrape it off into the toilet. I told them I'm not doing that. We can either use disposable diapers just for this night, or I can set the poopy ones aside and they can clean them when they get home. I said that they should have told me this ahead of time because I would have said no. They said there's no reason to tell me that, it's just normal baby care. I said that as someone who nannied and babysat for 5 years, this is the first time I've been asked to do this, so it is out of the ordinary, and it is respectful to be clear about things like that with childcare providers. I said I'm not handling poop more than I need to, so I can either leave, use disposable diapers, or leave the poop ones for them to clean later. We started arguing, so I just left and went home and had a relaxing night. My mom said I should have just done it because they were in a bind, but I gave them options, and they vetoed all of them, so I stuck to my boundaries. Am I the jerk? OP's not the jerk. Look, the fact of the matter is, they needed you last minute. If they genuinely needed you, they should have made it work with you. Unless they got one cloth diaper, I don't think this was an insurmountable issue. OP, on their time up, showed up to their house last second, expressed at the door basically their boundaries, and they weren't able to make anything work with you. Well, in that situation, you didn't even want to be there in the first place, so sorry, it's not going to work out. This next jerk pondering is by Poison Note. Am I the jerk for demanding the copy of my car key back, or else I'll involve police? My partner and I purchased our Jeep a few months ago. We have 0 payments on it, titles in my partner's name, and it's insured under us. About a month ago, the person we purchased it from took our Jeep with a second key that neither of us knew he had, and drove off with it while my partner was at work. This was a major problem, as my partner works 30 minutes from where we live, and we have no other car, as I work from home and don't need one. We called the police, and they more or less deemed it civil and told us to sort it out between us and the seller. At the end of the day, we get the car back, but the seller never gave us the key. I ran into the previous seller, and he tells me he'll have it dropped off at my partner's work on Monday, as he owns a construction crew that my partner's job does fire watch for. Monday comes and goes, he hasn't given it to us. We try to set up times to get it, he's dodgy about it. Finally today, I tell my partner that if he doesn't return the key to us by tomorrow, I'll be filing a police report against him. My partner says he doesn't agree because he doesn't feel the need to go to the aggressive route with this, and feels I'm being a bit of a jerk by reporting it as theft. Am I the jerk? Apparently OP clarified that I guess the guy works related to the company that OP's boyfriend works in, so their job might end up being on the line, kind of? Either way though, OP is definitely not the jerk, are you kidding me? The guy sold you the car and he keeps using it? I'd want somebody who did that to me locked up. It's kind of Grand Theft Auto every time he comes over and takes the Jeep. Depending on where you are in the world, that could be a sentence of years potentially for every time they stole the car. OP is definitely not the jerk. And our final pondering of the day is by Level Sky 8422. Am I the jerk? I went with my friend to a restaurant that was originally reserved for me and my wife. Yesterday was my birthday. Me, 30-year-old male, and my wife, 28-year-old female, had made reservations at this really nice Korean barbecue restaurant for dinner. My wife is 4 months pregnant. However, her friend wanted to hang out with her and had called her the night before my birthday. My wife said that this was a childhood friend of hers and that she really wanted to spend time with her. I reminded her that it's my birthday, but she just dismissed it, saying, "My birthday comes every year, but her friend will be leaving for Germany in a few weeks." I told her that she could go after my birthday as well, but she didn't listen and just went to a sleepover at her friend's place. I got really mad at her, and instead of waiting for her to return home to talk things out, I asked my friend if he'd like to go hang out with me. He was fine with it, so we spent the day fishing, grilling, hiking, and went to the Korean barbecue for dinner. When she came home after spending time with her friend, she apologized to me saying it was an unavoidable circumstance. I told her that it wasn't a problem and that I spent the day with my best friend. She got mad that I'd taken to the restaurant that we had booked for ourselves. I said that it originally was for us, but since she prioritized her friend over me, I took the person who prioritized me on my birthday. She said that I'm controlling and that I shouldn't be deciding who she spends time with. Now she's neither talking to me nor coming out of the room. I think I went too far by telling her whom she should be spending time with. Am I the jerk? This one's actually a bit of a tough one for me. I was kind of battling with a potential everyone's the jerk here, just because I feel like there's a lack of good communication all throughout this. The wife definitely chose their childhood friend over OP's birthday even when there was still time to hang out with them, post-birthday celebration, and OP said at the very end, I think I went too far by telling her whom she should be spending time with. But I looked back and the worst thing OP said was that they chose to go with somebody who prioritized them on their birthday. So at the worst, I feel like it's just a little guilt trippy, not controlling. I guess it really depends on how you look at it because OP definitely comes off as feeling entitled to them sticking to the reservation and spending that birthday with them. I think overall, my final judgment is not the jerk. The fact of the matter is she blew the reservation. I feel like most people would understandably be upset in that situation, feeling like on their birthday they got passed over for just a friend. OP made the most of it and somehow that upset OP's wife. I'd like to know your guys' thoughts about this in the comments. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So of all these questions and stories I've read for you today, which was your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.